All right, let's start. Mom, you can come closer unless you want like hiding over there. Do you want to come closer? It's easier. Okay, start in a child's pose. Let your knees go wide or have them together, either way. Yeah, tops of the feet on the ground. Energetically reach your arms forward. Want me to move this chair? Let's move this. That's better, right? You have plenty of room. Move yourself around. Connect to your breath. Just smooth, slow, steady inhalations, smooth, slow, steady exhalations. Get rid of the chatter in your brain. Get the giggles out. Yeah, spread your lower back across the heels. And then see if you can reach your hands a little bit more forward. Yeah, a little bit more forward. Anchor the thumbs, the index fingers, the baby fingers, spread them, curl the toes into the mat, lift your hips up high, downward facing dog. Yeah, take up a lot of space on the mat. So your hands are most likely as wide as the mat. And your feet are relatively hip width distance. If it feels better to go wider, then do that. You just want a little space between them. And then bend behind your knees as much as you need to, so you could breathe your hips high up off your shoulders and get out. This is a good opportunity to really focus on getting out of the lower back, getting out of that, like the insertion point of your hamstrings. Let your head just be free, and then move your shoulders away from your ears, which that's a hard cue to kind of find, because a lot of times when we hit down dog, we just kind of dump down. Anchor the thumb, the index finger, the baby finger, and you can keep that soft bend behind your knees throughout the entire practice. Spread your toes really wide. Fix your eyes on something that's not moving, and then just pause and be here. Wherever you are, just pause and be still. Roll forward to plank, stack your body nicely. And from down dog to plank, sometimes it takes a little finagling to get yourself aligned, but you should stack your shoulders over elbows, elbows over wrist. Bring the weight forward onto your tippy toes, lengthen the tailbone, draw the waist up. And then I like to fix my eyes to the front edge of the mat. That's kind of a good dristy point to keep the neck in a nice alignment. Firm up the outer triceps. That looks great. Hug into the center line of the body. Lengthen the tailbone more. And how do you do that? Bring your weight more forward on your tippy toes and modify if you need. At any point it's too much, you just drop your knees. Connect to your breath. Sometimes you get to these moments and you're like, I'm going to hold my breath and get angry. So no angry yoga, just be happy and breathe. Keep your arms straight and your legs straight. Just lift your hips up and back to a dog. And now you just kind of found your sweet spot. Roll forward again to a plank, stack your body. Yeah, it's like an ocean wave. Make it feel good. Keep your arms and your legs straight, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Roll forward plank. Contract the navel to the back of the spine. Bend your elbows in half at most to a chaturanga. Pick yourself back up to a plank. You got it. Hips up and back, down dog. One more, roll forward plank. Bend your elbows at any amount that you feel that you can support. You can drop your knees. Guide yourself through your first up dog or baby cobra. You want to lead with your chest, anchor through the tops of the feet, press through your hands, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Look where you want to go. Step, step to the top. Take 2 big steps to get there. Long spine on the inhale. The feet can have a little separation or a lot of separation. It's up to you. Hands can also be on your shins. Look forward with your eyes. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Here we go. Just clean it up. Arms reach up, look up. Dive over bent knees. Always bend your knees as you forward fold. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips, prepare. So long spine. Plant the hands and step to plank. Take 2 big steps back. Once you arrive in plank, do this slow. Bend your elbows in half or drop your knees if you think you need support. That's perfect. I like that. Guide yourself through an up dog. Lead with your chest, or baby cobra. Works fabulous. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. So you don't always have to roll over the toes. If that doesn't feel good, kind of rolling the toes, that took me like, I don't know, 15 years. Yeah. You just kind of pick them up. Look to the top of the mat. Take 2 big steps to get there. Long spine, weight is forward in the balls of your feet. Exhale, fold in half. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Keep going. Arms reach up. Dive over bent knees. Let the weight go forward. Long spine to prepare you. Plant your palms. Step to plank. Make it real deliberate so you can feel yourself as you lower into your version of a push-up, chaturanga. It can be little too. Upward facing, slide yourself through. Hips up and back, downward facing. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. So just connecting. Look to the top, step, or you can float if you feel like you can hop without doing a drop, stop, and roll. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. This is a good one. Root up, arms reach up. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Long spine to prepare. Step to plank, or hop lightly to a chaturanga if you feel like you won't break a toe. Up dog. Yes. Hips up and back, downward facing dog, or ruin the pedicure. That's more important, right? Like, I'll just step to plank. I don't need to ruin the pedicure. Look where you want to go. Step or float to the top. One more. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Connect. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Arms reach up, look up. Dive again over bent knees, forward fold. Let the head go. Long spine, prepare. Step or float through your vinyasa. Your up dog is smooth and it's definitely a new breath. Hips up and back, downward facing. Good. So in this down dog, roll forward to plank. Drop your knees to a tabletop position. Yeah, so just come to a tabletop position. You can keep the toes curled into the mat. Yeah. Extend your right leg straight back like a 3-legged down dog or a warrior 3. Don't open your hip. Good. Fix your eyes on one spot. Perfect. Reach your left arm forward. So this is kind of like you're swimming, floating in space. Sarah, turn your palm towards the pool. Now your shoulders in the right position. Same with you, Laura. Turn towards Jess. That's it. Fix your eyes on one spot. Grip your outer right tricep in. So as you plug down, you feel your right tricep plug in. Breathe the back right leg a little further back and then slide the left arm further forward. You got it. So it's this opposition, this reaching and stretching. Contract the navel and feel the obliques hug in. And kind of work out the balance. The longer you hold here, the more difficulty it is to find that center of gravity, that balance point. And sometimes you start to get frustrated. Keep the lift of the right leg. Take the left palm flat, so you're back the way you started. Now, curl the toes are curled. You're gonna lift up to a 3-legged down dog. It looks like this. This is why I'm showing you. Breathe the right hip up, only hip height. Plug the shoulders evenly into the mat and feel the thumb, the index finger, the baby finger press down. Feel the left hip grip into you, and the back left leg gets a solid stretch. Point your right toe, roll forward to plank, hug your right knee towards your navel, and scoop out your belly. Having the hips as the height of your whole body is going to be more challenging. If you need a little less, hips can lift up a little higher. Keep looking forward with your eyes, scoop out your belly more. Land your right foot all the way forward and through into a low lunge. Arrange the feet so the stance feels long enough and wide enough. Yes, come to your fingertips. Let the fingertips hover from the ground. Always make sure your right knee tracks over your right ankle and your feet are about hips width distance. So now they're hovering. Now as you hover your fingers, lead with your chest and activate your back left leg as you grip your right hip in strong. Sweep your arms straight back. So nothing is moved. You're staying very low and you're very grounded. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Keep the neck long. Feel the heaviness of the right thigh as it drops. The weight is strong in the right heel and the back leg is active. Keep the lower half of the body, start to lift your waist up, sweep your arms out and up or straight up, high lunge, crescent lunge. Fix your eyes on one spot. Breathe your chest open. Yes. So that concept of kind of moving your lungs forward really does exist in the yoga practice and life, right? Stay with it. Hands come down to frame your front foot. Cup the mat with your fingertips. Yes, like this. And then you're gonna float your leg up only hip height and drape your torso as close to your right leg as you can get it for today. Everyone's gonna be slightly different. You can kind of open up your elbows to the opposite ends of the mat. There you go. And drape down. Let your head just go. Lift from your inner left thigh and only lift to the hip height. Good. Come to the fingertips along spine. Turn the back foot on a little angle and step now to a low warrior one, but don't come up. So angle your back foot. So take a bigger step, Jess. So walk your left foot more towards Lauren and your right foot a little bit more towards me. There you go. Reach your arms back like a set of wings, just like you did. Now, hug your right hip in strong. That's the hardest part of this. Get heavy in your right leg. Press strong through your back leg. It trumps the pose. Then come up warrior one. And it could feel a little funny. So sometimes you kind of have to play with the front right foot, scoot it a little forward, a little over to the right. But the left ribs, they have to spin forward. Yes. Anchor through the outer blade of your back foot and sit deep into your front thigh. These look beautiful. Hold, look up a little with your eyes. Hands come down to frame your front foot. Step to a plank, pause. Bend your elbows in half to a chaturanga. Press back up to plank if you can. In plank, drop your knees, tabletop position. So set yourself up for this tabletop position. Again, curl the toes into the mat. Good, just pause for a sec. Left leg's gonna extend back, just the left leg. Start with that, because it seems really basic, but if you just do a basic movement and you hold it, there's this awareness that you didn't have, just like, you know, reaching your arm out to the side, whatever it is. Broaden across the upper shoulders. Focus on your core. Yes. Draw your waist up. Good. Slide your right arm forward. So now reach that right arm forward and kind of gather yourself together here. Yes. You got it. Nice. And the imperfections of this is what makes it kind of interesting. Just stay with it. More breath, more feeling, and allowing yourself to just be still, if possible. Keep the lift of the left leg. Don't let it drop. Right hand comes down. Firm up both your arms and then keep the left leg where it is and start to lift the right knee into a three-legged down dog. So now your left leg is lifted and you're in a three-legged down dog and you're pausing here. Grip the right hip in strong. Everything's very even in your body. You're just fanning the left toes and lifting from your inner left thigh. Point your left toes. Roll forward to plank, hug the left knee in towards the navel. Do as much as you can with this. You can always adjust by lifting the hips up a little higher. Press firm through the hands, grip your outer arms in. Keep the breath flowing. Land your left foot all the way forward and through. Take a big step, take a second to arrange. Sometimes you need to step your foot forward and a little over to the left. Activate your back leg, grip your left hip in strong. Come to your fingertips and let the fingertips hover, just an inch or two. I like this because it teaches you to really rely on the lower half of the body in this pose. Grip the hips in strong. Your back leg may need to stretch back just more, even bigger step. And then feel like you're like hugging your shoulder blades together. Keep all that, grip your left hip in, get heavy in your left leg, reach your arms back. Palms face down. We feel all sorts of fun stuff here. Breathe. Pick up the left toes, spread them wide across the mat, and then see if you can get a little heavier in your front thigh. Good. Rise your waist up, all the way up towards the sky, come up to a crescent lunge, high lunge. Yeah, high in the ball of the back foot if possible. You got it. Spin your right heel up and then lift from your hip points. Slide the arms up, look up with your eyes, get heavy in your front thigh. Stay with it. Another big breath. Hands come down, tent the fingertips like this. You want to kind of claw the mat and then very slowly let the leg float up. So if the hamstring doesn't feel great, you just make a small movement. You don't have to go so deep into the pose. Drape yourself down, open your elbows, kind of grip the mat. You can even slide blocks underneath your hand. Let the head go. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Turn the toes out a little, right toes out. Giant step back into a low warrior one. Don't come up yet. Come to your fingertips. Take a second to arrange the feet so your right thigh turns enough forward and your left hip grips in. Arms reach back like a set of wings. You hover. So there's a steering of your hip under you. Press through your feet and your legs and then come up warrior one. Adjust the right ribs forward and then anchor through the outer blade of the back foot. You may need to wiggle your left foot a little forward. There you go. Looks good. Press strong through your feet, through your legs. Hands come down to frame your front foot. We're going to move through a vinyasa, so a plank to a chaturanga, if that's available, to an up dog or baby cobra. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Look to the top, step or float your feet to the front. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Sit into our happy place chair pose. So stick your butt all the way back, and you can separate your feet as much as you need in chair so it feels good for your low spine. Your arms are rooting up and the lower half of the body is dropping down. That's the concept of the pose. And there's a lot of resistance always. Press up to stand up, drag it to prayer at heart, drop your arms. We'll take a few together. Some bees, arms reach up, sit again, chair. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare you. You can step, you can flow through vinyasa. You can simply just step to a dog and take a breath or two. So it's supposed to feel good. Hips up and back, down dog. When you get there, the right foot lands, the back foot turns, warrior one, unless something's going on, and crescent lunge feels better for the low back. You take that. Turn your back toe, Sarah, a little bit more towards me and you're in good shape. Back down we go through a vinyasa or dog it. Dog it. Up dog. Hips up and back, down dog. Left foot forward, back foot turns. You're just moving freely so you can feel and warm up. Back down we go. Plank position. Chaturanga. These look great. Up dog. Hips up and back. We meet in a down dog always. And get ourselves together. Look where you want to land. Step or float to the top. Long spine, keep the weight forward. Exhale, fold. Sit again into chair. Just kind of get out of your own way, get out of your head, and just sit. Press up to stand up. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Arms slide up. Sit deep chair. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Long spine sets you up. Step or float through your version of a vinyasa, whatever feels good. You may be adding push-ups at this point. Haha. Downward facing or not. Right foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. Back down we go. Chaturanga or not. Upward facing, activate your legs. That looks good. Hips up and back down, Doug. Left foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. They feel so much better after a few of them. Hands back down, plank position. Chaturanga, upward facing. Yeah, so picking up the toes, Lauren, works great. Downward facing. Be patient. Look where you want to go. Step or float to get safe to the top. Long spine, keep that weight forward. Exhale, fold in half. Sit deep into chair. Good. Press up to stand up. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. They never get old. Arms reach up. Sit deep chair. There's a lot of humidity out here. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips. Prepare you. Step or float through your vinyasa. Upward facing pulls you through. Smooth operation. Hips up and back, downward facing. Right foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. Back down we go. Chaturanga. Up dog. Hips up and back down dog. Left foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. Good, so use the blade of your back right foot to anchor you. And then back down we go through your version of vinyasa. Meet me in a down dog and take 3 breaths. Good. We'll wait for the very large airplane to go. Look where you want to go. Step or float to the top. One more time. Long spine, keep the weight forward. Exhale, fold. Sit deep into chair. Weight moves into your heels. Look forward with your eyes. Yes. Activate the sides of your triceps and then press up to stand up. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. All right, so standing on your left leg, you're going to reach down and you're going to grab your right ankle. It's going to look like this. Okay? Keep your right hand on your ankle if possible. For some reason, you feel like this is pulling you into like an internal rotation, just have your hand somewhere on your leg so you make a connection with yourself. But the idea is to kind of stand up tall with your right hand on your ankle on the inside, somewhere on the inside. Your left hand slides to your hip. Fix your eyes on something that's not moving and pause. Yeah, it's harder than you think. And if you fall out of it 100 times, welcome to practicing yoga. Slide the left arm up if you can. Keep your hand holding on to something. Now, as you stand up in this tree with your hand clasped around the inner part of your leg, draw your right shoulder back. Yes, there you go. That was a good one. And then slide your left arm up a little more and look up with your eyes a tiny bit. Root the left foot and contract the left quadricep. Stay with it. Draw the lower belly in, feel the lift of your ribs. Now, if you can, keep the left arm reaching straight up into space. If it needs to come down, that's fine. Slide your hand along the front of your shin and grab the front of your right knee, just like this. Rather than feeling like you're yanking your leg up to you, find the spot where you know that your hip and your knee are in the same angle and flex your right toes. Draw your waist up. Reach more with your left arm. Look up with your eyes. Keep the left side of the body lifted. Slide the right hand down to the front of the ankle. Reach back and keeping your hand on the outside of your ankle, begin to engage your right quadricep straight up and straight back. Now don't drop the body down at all. Lift the left arm and really stretch it up towards the sky. There may be a tiny bit of a tip forward, but just like an inch. Your right thigh moves directly behind you. That's great. Fire up the right thigh, and then if you want, you can flex the foot. See if that gives you a little bit more space. Hold. Hug the left hip in more. Keep the hand on the front of the shin, the front of the ankle. Start to bring the leg back up the way it was. Slide it up to the front of the knee. Reach big with your left arm. Slide your hand down to your ankle. Recreate that tree with the hand on the inside. Last couple breaths. Reach up with both your arms and grow the branches of your trees evenly and lift through your waist. Grip the hips in strong and look up with your eyes. Hands draw to prayer. Step down. Shake out your legs. So it's sometimes slow movements that you begin to feel a little bit more in the practice. Shift the weight into your right leg. Reach down, grab your left ankle with excitement. Now you know what's coming. Grab the ankle on the inside, somewhere on the leg. Keep a hold of it though. Bring your hand to your hip to start. Don't get ahead of yourself. Fan the right toes across the mat and see if you can really ground yourself. And then grow your right arm up. Breathe your left shoulder back if you can. Open up your chest. So your hand is anywhere on the inside of your leg that you can feel that you can hold. Yeah. Grip the hips in. Quiet the mind as you hold the posture. Keep reaching up with your right arm. Slide the hand to the front of the shin, to the knee area. It's going to come to the outside and then root. Flex the foot. Draw upward. Grip the hips in, keep the hip points forward. Just find that energetic reach and the mindset to hold the pose. And then just restart again. Gather the ribs together a little. Draw the waist up. Keep reaching up strong with your right arm. Slide the hand to the front of that shin and then kind of extend the leg up and back behind you. So you're doing this little baby dancer pose. So it's more energy into your hand. I like to flex the foot. So you're feeling it through the front side of your thigh and you're not dropping your torso down. You're really energetically reaching your right arm towards the sky. Hip points are forward. Small movements. Slide the hand, bring it back to center. Slide it back up the shin and draw up below the kneecap. Reach up with your right arm. Focus, attention, awareness. Contract the right quadricep more. Reach down, grab the ankle on the inside. See if you can bring your leg back into a version of tree that works. Once you get your balance, try and grow the branches of your trees. Reach up, look up with your eyes. Grip the hips in strong. Breathe your waist up off your body. Hands to prayer at heart. Step down, feet or hips width distance apart. Inhale the breath, stretch your arms straight up towards the sky. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare you. Take a giant step back with your left foot. Just your left foot goes back. Your right leg is forward. Yeah, the left palm's gonna go flat to the ground. The right arm's gonna peel open, go right into an easy twist. Watch that the whole waist doesn't turn. Right, so you wanna grip your hip in. I sometimes just have my hand on the flat part of the back or I tent the fingertips. Good. Definitely tent the fingertips, Sarah, so you're not in your shoulder. Yeah, we all have the tendency to do that. So you're gonna look down and from here, you're gonna go into a Vashisthasana side plank. So the easiest way to get in, Jody's able to do it pretty smoothly. The left palm, you roll to the outer blade of the foot. You're gonna grab your right ankle and you're gonna bring it up into a tree just like you did. So it looks like this. I'm gonna show you the modification just now. The modification will be to have the leg up like this, kind of in a version. Yep. So now see if you can find a tree pose. And then in your tree, take your right arm up and grab your right knee. Grab your right knee and let your foot hover away from your leg. Stay with this, and then if you want to grab the ankle and take a Shavasana, kick behind you. You can do it with your knee down like I'm demonstrating. Let go of any binds, look to a plank. In plank position, hug your right knee back in. We're having fun. Glide your right foot all the way forward and through the same leg, yes. Step your left foot forward, hips width distance. Long spine on the inhale, breath, weight is forward. Exhale, fold into yourself. One more time, long spine prepares you. Giant step back with your right leg. Right hand stays down, left arm peels, easy twist. Grip your left hip in. I like a tented fingertip, Jody. Just because the nature of our shoulders is to go in. Everything rolls in or gets saggy and falls. So we're just trying to lift everything up. So here we go. You're going to look down, plant your right palm, a version of side plank. If you can grab your ankle and bring it right into a tree, give it a go. If you need to step into it, drop your form. That's right. Tree pose in your side plank. Then take your left arm and reach for your knee and hover the foot away from the leg. So it's like a floating tree. This can be done with the knee down. Nice, Meredith. Grip the hips in strong. And then slide the hand to the ankle and see if you can bind your leg behind you into a Shavasana, or just drop the knee and take a variation of side plank. Plank position. Chaturanga Dandasana. Pick yourself back up to plank. Hug your left knee back in. You got it. Step the left foot all the way forward and through. Same leg. Step your right foot forward to meet hips width distance. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Fold in half. Root to rise, come all the way up. Move your energy, stale energy. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips, prepare. Now you can step or float through your vinyasa seamlessly. Upward facing slides you through. Nice work. Hips up and back, downward facing. Land your right foot forward in between your hands. Turn your back foot strong, warrior one. A warrior two, sorry. Go right to a warrior two. Yeah. I was thinking I didn't want to take warrior one. I wanted to go warrior two. And I said warrior one. Warrior two, you got open hips. So really important, wrap your right thigh open and back and make sure your stance is long enough. Take a bigger step, Laura. Yep, and there's the back left foot is a little angle to it. Yeah. So you can drop down and your right knee tracks and your arms are nice and open and wide. Breathe your chest open. Pick a spot that you can focus on. This is one of the harder things to do. Or close your eyes. And just feel your body in space. It's pretty powerful. Connect to your breath and the feeling of just holding yourself up. Recommit when you check out, come back to it. Stretch your left arm back a little bit more and stand up a little taller in the pose. Keep bending deep into your front right thigh. Blink your eyes open, rest your right arm on the top of the right thigh and stretch your left arm straight up. Start with this. This is good to just know to be here. Soften the right shoulder, grip the right hip in, and turn the bottom ribs. If you'd like to move on today, a block is helpful to the outside of the right foot. It's the A variation. The left arm slides straight up towards the sky or can wrap forward. Yes, I do the same thing. I go into a tented hand. I was finding a couple years back that I had my palm flat in a lot of poses and my wrist was starting to hurt. So awareness, small little changes sometimes make the pose better. Good. Keep bending deep into your right leg. Turn your bottom ribs and grip your right hip in strong as you press your left leg. firm into the mat. Stay with it. No angry yoga, happy people, happy poses. Look down, left hand to your hip, turn your block any angle if you need it, float up to a half moon, grip your hip in strong. I go high, yeah. Left arm extends up. Yep, I was just coming. You read my mind. I was coming with blocks. You beat me to it. Okay, so what I want you to do in your half moon is grip your left hip in super strong, take your right ribs and turn them from right to left towards the sky. That's it. And a couple options in half moon today. Get lighter in your bottom hand. You're welcome to reach back and take Shavasana, but when you grab for the bind, the kick goes behind you, not up towards the sky. So you continue that motion of the ribs turning. You can also just create the shape. You could just bend the leg in half and reach like you're gonna grab your ankle, but not actually grab it. So that's okay too. Or just stay as you are and just breathe. Just pray for yourself. Good, if you added the bind, release to a regular half moon. All right, let's have some fun. Look down, right foot is forward. Yep, use the block, step to a triangle. Grab the front of the shin, slide the left arm up, and then look up with your eyes. Nice work, ladies. Yes, turn your back toes a little on an angle and you're gonna be in a good spot. Lift the side ribs. There you go. And if you wanna add on here, reach your left arm up and forward. Yeah, turn from the bicep and look up. Get a little lighter in your bottom hand so all the weight's not dumping, and grip the hip in strong. You got this. Look to the floor, circle the hands down through a vinyasa, or simply just step to a dog and take a breath. When you get to down dog, land your left foot forward, turn your back foot strong, warrior two. Come on up. Take a couple breaths to get yourself set up. If your feet are all over the place, arrange them a little better. Turn the inner thigh open, broaden across your chest and your collarbone. And rather than making this like, torturous for yourself, just let your body kind of like be in the pose. It's like, this one's a mind fuck. Yeah, it always is. Anchor and then root to sit deeper. And no one says that if you feel like you're struggling in the pose, drop your arms, take a breath, and then bring them back up. 3 more breaths. Happy yoga. Get a little heavier in the legs. Breathe your chest open a little bit more. Rest your left arm on the top of the left thigh. Start with that. Get real soft in your shoulder. Reach the right arm up. You always have the option to gather your hand to your hip too. Sometimes keeping your arms closer to you feels better for some of us. Top arm can also wrap up and forward. Okay, if you feel like you want to move on, reach for a block to the outside of your foot. The block can be any angle, or you can just stay as you are. Grip the left hip in. That's the hardest part for majority of us. Turn your ribs up and breathe your chest open. Go to the outside, Laura, outside of your foot. It actually works. The target's a different area in your hip. Probably one that you're less happy with. Yes. Breathe. You got it. Anchor the back leg strong and sit deeper in your front leg. Awesome work. Okay, look down. Keep your left foot where it is. Slide your hand to your hip. Maneuver your block out in front of you a little and pop yourself up into a half moon. Great. Grip the left hip in strong, lift from your inner right thigh. What really helps me in this pose is to flex my top foot and then remind myself to take those bottom ribs and turn them a little. Yeah. And then just like you did in Warrior 2, open your collarbone and your chest. If you want to add in the bind, remember you're going to reach back with your right hand, grab your ankle if it's possible. Sometimes you just have to create the shape and stay with that. The kick goes behind you. Watch that the left leg doesn't turn in. It stays forward. It's okay. Nice work. Regular half moon, just release the foot. If you're already there, you're one step ahead. Okay, the transition is its own thing. So look down, keep your left foot forward, move the block with you if you need. Take a step back to triangle. Sometimes it works great, sometimes it's a mess. That's okay. Grab the front of the shin, slide the right arm up, and set up. Sometimes you need to pull up, reset your feet, and come back in the pose. Get light in your front hand. Make sure all the weight's not dumping into the shoulder. Reach the right arm up, or you can slide it up and forward like you did in that side angle. Kind of feels nice sometimes. Grip the hips in strong and turn the bottom ribs. Press strong through your feet, contract the muscles around your kneecap. 2 more breaths, you're rocking it. Look down, circle both hands to frame your front foot. Step to a plank, move through a vinyasa, or simply find your down dog and hold. Stay with me, guys. Guide your right foot forward. Crescent lunge. We have visitors. Crescent lunge. It's all right. We can manage. Hands to prayer at heart. Lean out in front of you. Hook the elbow and twist. Air twist of lower back, hamstrings, anything sensitive. So twist the other direction. Twist the other direction, Laura. No, you were right, Sarah. You got it. Perfect. We're twisting to the right, everybody. Activate your back leg. No, you can always drop your back knee down. Sometimes we just need to cut ourselves some slack. Lean back a little, open up your arms, activate your back leg, and twist open. Do what Jody's doing, Lauren and Jessica. Reach the right arm back. Sarah, you could try this too. Reach the right arm back. Palm faces the pool. There you go. And then rather than leaning, like looking back, just lean back a little and look up. See if that, no, look up towards the sky. Perfect. That's it. Keep using that left elbow to kind of gather that right leg in and reach back with your right arm more. Hands come back to prayer. Look to the floor, take both hands down. Walk the foot to the center, spring the left foot forward. Long spine on the inhale, exhale, fold, sit into chair pose. We're putting it all together. You can separate your feet as much as you need here. Hands come back to prayer. Inhale your breath, hook the elbow and twist. Good, weight stays in your heels and shins move back. Just stay up real high and air twist and really work on the knees staying together. Let's do the same thing here. Keep the left hand wrapped to the outside of the right thigh. Reach your right arm to the back skinny edge of your mat and look right. Woohoo. Sit deeper in your legs. Right hand comes back to prayer. Pull around to chair. I know. Wrap your right thigh around your left. Your hands can slide to prayer if you're too much for your shoulders, or wrap your right arm under for eagle. Steer the hips to the back edge of the mat. Sit deep. Squeeze down the center line of the body so the weight moves into your left heel. Stay with me, guys. No angry yoga. Unravel your arms. Press to stand the right leg. Oop, hugs in towards the chest. Giant step back, crescent lunge. So it's all coming together. You've been here before, so we don't hold it as long, which is good news. Hands to prayer at heart, inhale the breath, lean out and hook to the left. Just check in with your alignment. Sometimes when we do the step backs like that, it gets a little sloppy. Drop the back knee if you need. Make sure the stance is wide enough, it's long enough. And then play with the splay of the arms. Maybe the right elbow stays to the outside of the left thigh. Maybe you want to play with reaching that arm back and twisting a little deeper. Activate your back leg really strong. Continue to breathe. Nothing lasts forever. Hands come back to prayer. Look to the floor, place both hands down, pause for a second. Take a breath in, take a breath out, and then step your right foot forward to meet. Long spine on the inhale, fold in half, sit into your chair. Hands come to prayer, inhale that breath, hook the right elbow to the outside of the left thigh and turn. You can air twist, just make sure the two knees stay lined up side by side. Good. Now try reaching the left arm towards the back edge of the mat. Yes, the thumb faces up, so the palm is turned open. That's it. Turn the palm towards Lauren more, Jess. Perfect. Now get weight into your heels and stick your back butt all the way back. Nice, Sarah. Breathe right here. Awesome, Jody. Top hand comes back to prayer. Keep it together. Weight in your heels, pull around to chair pose. Wrap your left thigh around your right. Wrap your left arm under. So you can also just do this kind of like, you know, your toe is kind of resting on the ground, but create the same shape. Your hands can also be in a prayer if it doesn't feel good for the shoulders or the neck. Weight stays in your heel. Sit down deep. Steer your hips back. Unravel just your arms. Press to stand, hugging your left knee towards your navel. Giant step back, crescent lunge, your right leg is forward. Hands come to the floor. Walk the right foot to the right, bump your back foot in so both legs go straight. Take your hands to your hips and pull yourself up. Peace out, mama. Right hand on your hip, left arm up, last standing pose. Thank the Lord. Inhale the breath, steer your right hip back, come halfway down, come the rest of the way down. So you have two options. Your hand can rest, your left hand can rest on your right shin, left hand, other hand, or a block. I've been doing it for so long, it doesn't even faze me. Meredith, if it doesn't feel bad for your lower back, take your left hand to your right shin. Left hand, right shin. Perfect. Right hand to the flat part of your back. Feel like someone's got you by your hips, and then maybe the right arm slides up. We've done a bunch of like openings of the chest and the legs, so it may feel good to open that right arm up. It may feel terrible, so don't do it. What I want you to try, Jessica, walk your right foot a little bit more to the right and give yourself space. Yeah. Now try, and when you press through your hand through your shin, really anchor yourself and then allow your space self to twist open. Look to the floor, take both hands down. We'll keep this really simple. Just step your left foot forward, slide your hands to your hips and pull yourself up. All right, here we go. The right foot steps back. Sometimes it's easier to step back into it. Your body can arrange itself a little different. Make sure both hip points are forward. Switch legs, Mare. Unless you think you did. No, that's the right leg. Right arm up. Inhale the breath. Come halfway down. Steer your hips back. Like I give myself this manual adjustment, like my hip back, and then my hand comes down. Every option, so you have the space in your body to actually do the pose. Your left hand can be on the flat part of your back. Yes. So your spine is long, your legs are active, and you're twisting only where there's little ribs in your body, those little ribs. Left arm can extend up if you want more, or you're just welcome to stay and breathe. Two more. Grip the hips in strong, twist open. Look down, take both hands to the floor, step through a vinyasa, chaturanga, upward facing, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, take a full breath out. So just for 10 breaths, drop to your forearms, set up for dolphin or forearm plank. This is where you would go upside down. Let me show you a little tool. I like the block going this direction, and then my hands go in between the block. So my forearms, this gives me an indication that I'm set up properly for my neck. Now, down dog, dolphin pose looks like this, and you just breathe your hips up really high. This is wonderful. You can stay here for a few breaths. If you had a pinch marasana, this is where you do it. Or you can walk your feet out and you can take forearm plank like this. But I really like having the block because it gives me something to hold on to, a broadening of the shoulders and chest. You can always drop your knees too and just focus on your core. Now you can also just be in a Sphinx where it's a very mild back bend, and that may feel really nice for you. But in Sphinx pose, you're going to bring your arms a little bit more forward and lead with your chest. Stay with it, about 5 more breaths, whatever you've chosen to do. Child's pose. Nice work. Last little bit, guys. Stay with me, okay? Tabletop position, how we started before. Yeah, curl the left toes into the mat. Reach your right leg back. Slide your left arm forward. So this could annoy you, or you could just be like, wow, I feel a lot better than I did before, right? Your left arm is forward, your right leg is back. Perfect. Left hand down, right knee draws in towards the chest. This time, press down. Step your right foot all the way forward and through. All right. Slide your left knee back. This is sometimes where you have to pad your leg, but I like the toes curled into the mat. Yes. Bring your torso up. Drop your arms by your side body. Clasp your hands down your back. Puff your chest open. Grip your right hip in strong. Not every back bend needs to be this bridge, this wheel. This is a back bend. You're probably getting more here, and you're less in your lower back, which is so much better. Now, if you were feeling really daring, I'm looking at you, you could bend your leg up and you can grab around your ankle and gather your hands around your ankle for the full bind. Don't have to be daring. You don't have to attempt it. You can just stay here and breathe. Keep sliding those clasped hands down the back. Get heavy in your legs. Breathe your chest open. Pull your torso up. Wrap your arms up towards the sky. Both hands down to frame your front foot. Listen carefully. Back knee lifts. Slide the right leg up and back to a 3-legged down dog. And then bring your right knee forward and through for a half pigeon. So a little flowy action. And if you got it wrong, doesn't matter. Just bring your right leg forward for half pigeon and you're in good shape. There's always a way to fix it. And then fold. And just fold and breathe. Curl the back toes under, engage the back knee, and just step to a dog. If you feel you need to clean it up and move through a vinyasa, that's fine. I'm just gonna hold a dog for a breath or two, and then I'll bring my weight forward into plank and drop my knees one last time today for tabletop position. In tabletop, I'll slide my left leg forward. Try curling the right toes into the mat. See if that gives you a little bit more anchorage, and then right arm reaches forward. So left leg back and right arm forward, and then just find a dristi. Keep the lift of the left leg. Don't let it go anywhere. Bring the right arm back down. Hug the left knee in, scoop out your belly, and then step your left foot all the way forward and through. Slide your right leg back. You actually have to lift it up and slide it back. Anchor the left heel, grip the hip in, and then bring your arms up. So just so you know, this right here is a back bend. This is a back bend, and this is actually one of the best things you could do. Like after I run or play tennis or whatever, just doing a bunch of these to stretch the front line is fantastic. Drop your arms, interlace your hands. I can't remember my grip, so just pick one. Broaden the shoulders and the chest, and you start your back bend here. So less is more. If you feel daring, bend your right leg up. It's almost like you're kicking your heel towards your butt. You'll take your clasp hands around your ankle. Yeah. It may or may not work. You may only be able to do it with one hand too. You may just be kicking your heel towards your butt and creating the shape. Let go of the foot if you took hold of it. Pull your torso up, unwrap your arms up towards the sky. Hands come down, curl the back knee into the mat, off the mat. Float the left leg up and back to a three-legged down dog. Pause. You got it, Laura. Nice work. And then guide your left leg forward and through half pigeon. I mean, the fluidity in the body is changing. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it is, but it is. You can always place a block underneath your left hip. Make yourself comfortable-ish. Comfortable-ish. Let me just check your alignment. It looks good. And just so you know, because a lot of yoga teachers have this whole thing where the leg has to be out. It doesn't. It can be close to you if it's more comfortable. Pull yourself up. Yep. Lean onto your left side. Swing your right leg around. Take a seated spine twist this way. Take your right leg, wrap it behind the side of the left thigh. Both butt cheeks down. Just give your right leg a little squeeze. Inhale the breath. Right hand close to the base of the spine. And exhale, twist. Just make sure you're not sitting on your heel. It's going to be easier. Yeah, perfect. Good. Come through center. Just counter stretch for a sec. And just switch the legs. So just across the legs. The right leg forward, the left leg bends. The hand goes behind you. I just give this leg a little squeeze. Inhale the breath, lengthen up, and then look over the shoulder. And just an even way to twist. No jerky movements. Good. Come back to center. Unravel yourself. Take your feet flat to the floor. Lay down on your backs. And just one final back bend before we go into Shavasana. So a couple options. You can just use your block. If you are going to use your block, lift your tailbone and get it underneath your low back to a spot that is comfortable. You'll clasp your hands and you'll be here. If you want to go to a full wheel, flip your palms, bring your chin to your chest, and bring yourself up. So it depends how much you want to give right now, what your body needs. Turn your feet forward either way, wrap your thighs under you, walk your feet so they're a little bit closer to you, and come on up. The lift becomes from the tailbone to the backs and the knees. Really nice. Tuck the chin. If you're in a full wheel, start to come out. Good. And if you're on a block, I just want you to lift your leg straight up towards the sky. If you're not on a block, take the block underneath your lower back any direction Clasp the hands and the arms around the block, and then lift one leg and then the other leg up. And we're just going to stay here for about 10 breaths. I'll pull you into Shavasana. You can start to close your eyes. Really nice. This is a great way to flush the lactic acid in the body. With your eyes closed, just bend your knees in half, guide your feet to the floor, get the feet flat to the ground, unclasp the hands, reach for the block, remove it slowly from underneath you, let your tailbone slowly drop to the ground. Hug your knees to your chest if that feels good, and only if that feels good. Yeah, any final movements that you need to make your practice feel complete. Happy baby sometimes feels good. And then start to slide into a Shavasana. Make yourself comfortable for the next minute or two. Make yourself comfortable. If you need to put something over your eyes, do that. Turn your palms open. If you're not comfortable in Shavasana, make a comfortable position. Just rest. Take a giant breath into your whole body. At the top of the breath, hold for a second, and then exhale out through your mouth. Give your knees a giant squeeze across your chest, like wrap your arms around the front of the shins. And then in your own way, in your own time, just rock up to seat and sit up nice and tall just for a moment. So before we bounce off the mats, just take a second for yourself. I mean, this whole practice is about you just coming to your mat and just moving and breathing and not thinking too much, but just kind of put it all together here. Sit up nice and tall. Have some closure for yourself. Bring your hands to a prayer. Bow your head. Always have gratitude. Lift the head, open the eyes. Namaste. Awesome job. Great practice. So much fun.